I wasn't doing pills, but to paint the picture of like, heroin was my drug of choice. I actually started hanging out with this guy who went to high school with me. He was a grade above me. In high school, didn't really talk to him. We weren't really friends, but started hanging out with the same group of people and met him about a year after graduate school, because I was back living in the hometown that I grew up in.
Okay.
Working, trying to save money, figure out my life.
Was that where that law firm was?
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
In
your own
Paoli.
apartment?
Yes, I was living in my own apartment at this time.
Alone?
When we started dating, I didn't move in with him, but very quickly was like staying at his house all the time. He had another roommate. It took me maybe 4 months into our relationship. I knew that he did drugs, right? I knew that he drank, smoked weed, he did pills. I didn't do pills, and I don't say that in the sense of like I wasn't doing pills, but to paint the picture of like heroin was my drug of choice. I wasn't somebody that was addicted to pills and then was like, okay, I'm going to try heroin. I knew that he did things like that, but it was like 3 or 4 months into our relationship that I started noticing things. Like we would be hanging out in mid-conversation and he would start nodding out. And I'm like, maybe he is tired or he did too many pills, right? Kind of naive, but also like, this isn't normal. Something's wrong with him. And a few months into our relationship, I remember I found bags of heroin. And I was like, he's doing heroin. Like I knew what it was because I saw my sister do that. I remember finding little baggies of heroin when I was growing up that were hers.
And
so
was this intravenous or you don't know yet?
At that time, I didn't know.
Okay.
I just knew, okay, he's definitely doing heroin. And I remember when I found the bags, I didn't immediately confront him to be like, what is this? Because I think in my mind, I was like, maybe he has this under control. I didn't know how to approach him about it. And I think I also was like scared of like, oh shit, is the person that I'm in love with, right? I was in love with this guy, or I convinced myself that I was. Is he really doing this? Because I knew that if that was true, and because of how much I convinced myself I was in love with him, that would not be good for me. So I eventually said something to him, and he did what all good, I'm going to say this about myself, right? Because I'm an addict, I'm in recovery, what all good addicts do, which is like, it's not that big of a deal. I have this under control. He absolutely did not.
So he didn't deny it.
He didn't deny it. He wasn't like, this isn't mine, right? He said, this is something I do once in a while. It's under control. You have nothing to worry about. He got worse with it. And the sick person that I was at that point in my life, like stayed with him. I think I was like, maybe I can get this guy clean, even though I was doing all of these other substances, but I wasn't doing heroin. So like, I wasn't the one that had a drug problem.
Of course.
That's what I was telling myself. So I remember being like, maybe you should go to treatment. His brother was close. I was close friends with. We were like, maybe we need to get him to go to treatment. And then my sick brain months into the relationship was like, maybe if I try this, I will like understand what it's like.
Oh.
You know what it reminds me of?
Yeah.
Is that his heroin was like the caramel candies in CVS, and you were kind of your mother.
Yes.
Saying, yeah, well,
Yeah.
If he says it's not a problem,
It's not a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's insanity. Like when I think like, okay, if I try this with him, maybe like it'll bring me closer to him, or I'll understand, or like that's crazy. I'm just
when
gonna
you love someone like
yeah.
your family or you'll protect someone, right?
Yeah.
Because like you want to defend them.
Still insanity.
It was insanity. And I remember when I first tried it, I didn't tell him. I found a bag in his room and I snorted it when he wasn't there. So it wasn't even the like, I want to do this with you, let's do this together. Like when I'm going to just say that is some like distorted thinking that I had of like, I'm going to try this, not tell him about it. And when I eventually did, he was very upset with me, being like, how could you do that? You don't understand what you're getting yourself into. But this was coming from a man who was also addicted to heroin. So there was a part of him of like, maybe wanting to protect me from getting into the
Right.
depths of something that he was horribly addicted to. But when I reflect back on that now, I'm like, my thinking was just not, it was not normal. So, again, I started doing that, never into pills, not addicted to opiates of any sort of the kind.
You went straight for it.
I just went straight for it. And I convinced myself I will not get addicted to heroin. Like, I literally was like, I'm just going to try this. I'm going to do this once in a while and I will be fine. And that is obviously not how something like that works. So
Especially not
This
heroin.
no.
this sounds like a big oopsie daisy.
Yeah. But I was like, it's fine. Like, I can control this. It was not good. And so I feel like, as we all know, it progresses. And for me, it progressed very quickly, right? It went from me snorting it, like getting sick the first times I did it because my body rejected it because that's poison, right, to your body.
Yeah.
So even though I did it and it instantly made me sick, I was like, I'm going to keep doing it because if I keep doing it, maybe then I won't get sick and my body will. It's just, I highlight that because my thinking was insane.